I did want to talk about the GameStop AMC thing. I know you did it on your show yesterday. Check out
Yes.
Chloe's Across America on Thursdays at what time?
10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And I had an incredible woman on last night. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's just Chloe Hilliard. Her name is Ramona Ortega Esquire. She's a lawyer and a money market expert. She was named one of the top women in money market by Crane's Business last year. And she really broke down everything that's happening with Robinhood and GameStop and why they are trying to change the rules because everyday retail, if you're a person who invests on Cash App or Robinhood, you're considered a retail investor, right? And then you have the hedge fund people who are kind of like top tier investors. And so basically, once they realized that everyday people were buying up GameStop and driving the price up, they put a freeze on it on GameStop and a couple other consumer apps where you can trade because they were losing money. And so the big boys, the billionaire hedge fund people were like, we can't keep losing money to these fucking peons. And so when you went to go buy GameStop, they were like, it's not even on it. You can't even buy GameStop. And then it was also AMC, Nokia, Bed Bath and Beyond, and BlackBerry that everyday people were like, let's rally up these stocks. And, because basically, I'm not going to do a great job of doing it. Ramona does an excellent job. But basically, these hedge funds buy a stock because they know that they've already depreciated the value. And so then they wait to they'll sell it and then they try to recoup it when they make more money. So once it goes too high, then they can't recoup their money because they've been priced out. And so basically, regular people bought the stock that the hedge funds had undervalued, and then they drove the price up. And so now when the hedge fund released that stock thinking that they were going to be able to pick it up for cheaper, now a stock that was like $7 is now $400. And so all of these retail apps like Robinhood or Cash App put a freeze so that regular people couldn't buy the stock because they're trying to allow the stock to go down since people like us can't buy it, drive the price down so that these hedge funds can recoup their money and not go broke. And so it's interesting, even I woke up yesterday at 6:20 here in LA to look at the stock market open because I was like, I was able to get me 5 shares of AMC and I
Oh, you
want my
did?
money. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. When did you buy it?
I bought it Wednesday night after hours, which is not smart because when you do after hours, the price fluctuates. But the good thing about Robinhood is that you could put a cap on how much you're willing to spend. So the AMC stock, I was like, my cap is like $15. That's as much as I want to spend. And so the next day when the market opens, if you're able to get it before it goes too high, then you can get the thing. But I was like I don't want to say I was the last one, but I felt like I was like part of the last ones because like that day on Thursday, you couldn't buy AMC, you can only sell it. And so that's the reason why there's a class action lawsuit now against Robinhood because they're pretty much manipulating the market and saying that you can't buy and profit off of these AMC and GameStop shares because, the rich hedge funds guys want their money.
So I was gonna ask you. So you and I believe that a revolution is on the way,
It's here,
uh,
girl. We in it.
right? This is part of it, though, the
Absolutely.
economics of it all, right? So would you say that this Reddit thing is similar to that WikiLeaks thing, and now the top 1% is revolting?
Yes, I think that it's interesting because it's pretty much like a tsunami of everything that we've been ignoring over the past couple decades, right? And so if you look back to think to the last time we've had major shifts in finance and understanding, it would be Reaganomics, right? The whole trickle down economy thing was probably the last thing in my lifetime where a massive shift happened when it came to money. And I'm sure generations before could say, when Nixon removed the gold standard, because basically American money was supposed to be according in toe to toe with the gold value. And so that is out the window. So now money is just money, right? Credit is just whatever it is. And
Mhm.
so when it came to Reaganomics, they were like, well, if you let the rich people keep their money, they'll spend their money and then it'll trickle down. And it's like, this is not Planko on motherfucking The Price is Right or whatever it is, stupid game. Like it's not gonna trickle down to us. And so now what we're seeing when it comes to money is that these big banks have been able to do whatever they want. They keep getting bailed out. And now with the change in administration, we have a DOJ and, now Secretary of Finance who are like, no, 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 no. We can't keep letting y'all do this because I don't even think that the government really cares about us as individuals. They're like, we can't keep giving y'all money because we have to keep giving you money. And so now we have to put y'all on punishment because you're going to make us broke, right? How many more times can we bail out the airline company? How many more times can we bail out the motor industry? Like, there's all these massive companies. And on top of that, they don't even keep their money here. When they get all of this money, they put it into like an offshore account and all this other stuff. And so now what we're seeing is that people, because of technology and also because we are home in a pandemic and we have nothing better to do but figure out how to fucking work the stock market, are like, oh, I see what you're doing. It's not that hard. And so now they're going to change the goalposts again. And so, yes, this is a movement. I've been telling Aida this, and I'm not saying I've been telling her, but we've been talking about this for over a year about how all of this is going to come to a head. And that is why I always said from day one, and people thought I was crazy, that it was imperative for us to have he who should not be named as president, because it forces us to address all the things that we have been ignoring and sweeping under the rug, right? And so if Hillary Clinton was president, none of this, I don't want to say none of this would have happened, but most of this stuff wouldn't happen. Racists would not be exposed. That, we won't know who the enemies are because everybody would just be walking around in camouflage. Like, people showed their asses these last 4 years, and we needed to see it. And so a part of this is an economic revolution. A part of it is a religious revolution. I mean, you talk about not just in America, but all over the country, people are not attacking the church, but being like, hey, church, y'all been doing some messed up stuff and we can't just let you slide anymore. Like, now you have more indigenous communities who are returning to their indigenous ancestry faith. Like, there's so much things where it's just like, is it the dawn of the Aquarius? I don't know. I'm not like too well versed, but there is an awakening that happens every, couple decades. And I think that lends itself to who we are as people, right? So when we are as people, when you think about who we are and what our purpose is to be a part of the community, uplift our, loved ones, uplift our people that we can touch and reach, learn from each other, communicate from each other. And then when you learn all the life lessons, you're not supposed to come back, right? So if you are here, and this is my belief, if you are here, there is still something for you to learn, all right? So nobody here is perfect. We all fucked up in our past life. We wasn't taking notes. And now we got to ace this test so we can go to the other plane of existence. We could read minds and float and shit. That's what I want to float.
I say.